music on, and here we go. Let's get this TikTok going. We're waiting for the streaming to happen.
Record.
One Facebook, record. Thank you. We are streaming, so now let's get the real music on. Here we go. Dance with me. Oh, look at her go. Oh. Happy birthday. My birthday. Not mine, not hers. Celebrating. So special. Shine. Smile.
We're celebrating you in style.
We could just play the music for a half hour. Okay. I'm going to thank the Suno Orchestra for that wonderful introduction. I'm Bonnie D with my special, very gorgeous co-host guest today, Cristina L. Leira, L-E-I-R-A, but we only go by last initial. Cristina, before I start, first I want to say thank you for joining me. Second of all, you get 2 sentences to tell everybody who you are and what you do, and then we get started. So who are you?
I'm Dr. Cristina Leira. I'm a neuroscientist. I love helping people transition from job loss to hope.
I love that. Anything you didn't get your whole sentence? You got one more sentence. Anything else? You're an author, right? Tell people about your books.
I'm an author, yes. I'm a researcher, an author, yes.
Okay, there you go. Well, I'm going to get started, and here we go. It's September 9th. Oh my goodness, where is the year going? Here we go. It's time to cheer, to toast, to woo. It's September 9th. Happy birthday to you and you and you somewhere in the world with Bonnie D on her scarlet mic serving up fame and flair with just the right spike. And joining me now with co-hosting Beauty and Flair is Cristina L. with charm to spare. Celebrities and stars from screen to stream, and some of them are screaming too, and social media darlings who are living their dream, plus oddball, wacky holidays and music history lore. Let's light the candles, not near the computer, and happy birthday wishes galore. So buckle up, darlings, a fun show is in store. Happy birthday to you, lighting up September 9th with glam, with bam, and with more. There we go. Okay, Cristina, I'm going to get us started with, let's see. Oh, by the way, I had a little note of history here. In 2004, not on this day, British author Ben Hammersley proposed the term podcasting in an article in The Guardian. He said, well, we've got this new entertainment medium. People are out there doing their thing online. So he said, let's take the Apple's iPod, let's mash it up with broadcast, and we're going to come up with the term podcast. I just wanted everybody to know. So when I say I'm a broadcaster, I really are. I am too. Okay, let's go. In 1946, 2 months after she debuted on the BBC's Cabaret Cartoons show, 13-year-old Petula Clark began hosting her first TV series titled, what else? Petula Clark, 13 years old. Can you believe that, Cristina?
Unbelievable. Beautiful.
Unbelievable. You've got the next one. What's next?
Yeah. In 1956, Elvis Presley makes the first of 3 contracted appearances on the Ed Sullivan Show. Sullivan had previously announced he would never have such an act on, but ratings soared and Sullivan offered Elvis a record $50,000 for the 3 shows. Charles Lawton hosts for an ailing Sullivan as Elvis performed Don't Be Cruel, Love Me Tender, Ready Teddy, and Hound Dog, but is shot from the waist up only to avoid scandal. The show draws on staggering 54 million viewers.
Wow.
You know that my mom told me, because of course Elvis Presley was from all over, everybody in the world knew him. So
Yes.
my mom told me that back in Argentina, her father, my grandfather, forbade her to watch Elvis Presley. He was
because of the hip swiveling. Oh, we've got a comment here. Okay, that was a woman saying, oh my, did you hear that? Let me make it a little bit louder. Let's get that one again. There we go. Oh, that's the Porsche taking her away outside. Okay. In 1957, the following year, Paul Anka's ballad, Oh, Diana, hit #1 on the charts, and it stayed for 1 whole week. Cristina, what's next?
1967, Sam and Dave released Soul Man.
I'm a soul man. I think the Blues Brothers used that song a lot. In 1971, John Lennon released Imagine. in the United States. Quite a
Oh,
song, quite an
beautiful
era, I know.
song. Beautiful song. In 1975, Paul McCartney and Wings began their historic 13-month world tour. US performances will be recorded as the double LP Wings Over America. They played to 2 million plus fans total during their tour.
Now, Christina, that was 50 years ago. 2 million fans 50 years ago. Can you imagine what that number would be right now? And going back to your note about Elvis Presley being on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1956, 54 million viewers, $50,000. I need to look up and find out what that would be today. 75 years ago, Elvis got 50 grand for 3 shows.
That's
There's got to be some incredible numbers there. I'm going to bring us back to not the present, but the same day Paul McCartney and Wings recorded or went on their tour. It was the debut of a TV show called Welcome Back, Kotter. The theme song was written by John Sebastian of the group The Lovin' Spoonful. The song went to #1 in the US the next year in 1976. John Travolta was on the show and he played a delinquent. Oh my goodness gracious. He got his big break and he went on to star in, Saturday Night Fever, Grease, and oh, what a star he is. So, Welcome Back, Kotter, 1975.
right.
Okay, what's next?
In 1978, A Taste of Honey's disco hit Boogie Oogie Oogie hits #1 for the first of 3 weeks.
Boogie oogie oogie, duck, get down, boogie oogie.
I love it.
I was a disco dancer. I'm
I
not going
love
to
this
give you
song.
the year, but I love that song. The
I love it.
same
I like the disco
day,
ball.
I know, the same day we were discoing. The same day the Rolling Stones released "Beast of Burden," one of their very popular songs. And you're next.
In 1988, the final day of Elton John's 4-day garage sale, which netted $6.2 million. His house looked like a high-end hoarder's, sold his boots in the film Tommy, and his Statue of Liberty stage costume he outgrew.
He said he outgrew it. Can you imagine? I've had garage sales and I was looking to make $62. He made $6.2 million. Amazing. And 2 years later, in 2000, there was a movie called Duets, which starred Gwyneth Paltrow and Huey Lewis from Huey Lewis and the News, the singer. It was released at the Toronto Film Festival. Well, guess what? The movie was, let me see if I can get this up quickly here. Here we go. That was the movie. However, they did a duet cover of the song Cruisin', Gwyneth Paltrow and Huey Lewis. It reached #1 on the adult contemporary chart. So at least the song survived. And there have been movies I understand that Madonna made that were a flop. Uh-oh. But the songs that she sang in the movies hit #1. So there you go.
Exactly. Oh, I
Yeah.
love this one because I'm a linguist. So in 2004, the Oxford English Dictionary adds the word bootylicious as sexually attractive of a woman.
I wasn't sure whether to put that in, but I saw that, yeah, I figured you would enjoy it. In 2008, Donnie and Marie Osmond kicked off what was supposed to be 6 weeks at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Guess what? The show was so popular that run went for 11 years and didn't end until 2019. That was the heyday of the Osmonds. Wow, 11 years, 6 weeks. Can you imagine? You deal with people who lose their jobs and you deal with all kinds of neuroscience, Chris. Can you imagine knock, knock on the door? This is Donnie, this is Marie. Knock, knock on the door. Yes, who's there? This is the management. We have something to tell you. Oh my God, you hated our show? No, we're going to renew you for 11 years. Okay, thanks. We'll be right out. Can you
Love it. Love it.
Nick?
2014, surprise! 500 million iTunes users find U2's latest album, Songs of Innocence, in their personal libraries.
Now,
Wow.
this apparently was a big deal because they didn't ask permission. They didn't notify people, and it was just some kind of a marketing ploy. And people just woke up, and there it was. I guess the people who were U2's fans were happy. People who weren't, maybe not so much. There was some commentary when I found that. And our last of our events on this day in history, 2019, Kelly Clarkson debuted her own talk show. What else? Kelly Clarkson Show. It opened with something called Kellyoke. a popular song cover that she was singing. And I don't know if she's still doing her shows, but she looks very different these days. She's don't you say she's reimagined what she looks like, and she's a little skinny girl, looks like a little teenager right now, doing a lot of commercials here in the U.S. We're going to go to famous birthdays, and we have a lot. So let's get started.
I love it.
Day is the birthday of Hugh Grant. These are in age order, older going down. Hugh Grant is 65. I had to look that up three times, Christina, to make sure it was
Wow.
true.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
He
He's a
looks great.
rom-com. Yeah, go ahead.
He looks great.
He does. He's a rom-com actor. He rose to fame in the 1990s, so do the math. That was 35 years ago, 30 years ago, in films Notting Hill, I remember, and Mickey Blue Eyes. Mickey Blue Eyes was being filmed in Great Neck, Long Island. There was a scene in the ballroom of a catering place called Leonard's of Great Neck. I was a reporter for the local newspaper, Christina, and I went there and I saw James Caan and I saw other actors in a ballroom scene. I don't remember Hugh Grant there of Mickey Blue Eyes, and I reported on. Anyway, Hugh Grant starred also in Bridget Jones's Diary in the film series and the film About a Boy. I saw that, and Sense and Sensibility. He also played, I saw this one, Jeremy Thorpe in the BBC One miniseries A Very English Scandal. I saw that. Now, he wanted to grow up to be an art historian, not an actor. Well, look how well that went. And his 13-year relationship with actress Elizabeth Hurley certainly made a lot of news, and they ended as just friends in 2000. So happy 65th birthday. It looks marvelous on you, darling. Hugh Grant. Okay, who's next?
Yes. Adam Sandler, another favorite, 59, comedic actor whose best known films include Billy Madison, The Water Boy, Mr. Deeds, The Wedding Singer, Happy Gilmore, and Big Daddy. He voiced the character Dracula in the Hotel Transylvania movies. In 1999, he founded production company Happy Madison, a title combining the names of two of his films, Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. Pre-frame, he worked as a comedian and appeared as a regular cast member on Saturday Night Live. I really like this guy too. He is,
I do too. There's
yeah,
something so happy when you see him.
yes,
There's
yes,
this almost a childlike exuberance coming through this.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, yes,
wonderful.
yes.
Next birthday is Eric Stone Street. A lot of you may not know him, but I was a big fan of the hit comedy series Modern Family, and he was one of the partners in a couple that were very, very important in the series. He played Cameron. He earned critical and popular acclaim for that. He created also the character of Fizbo the Clown. I remember he did that once in a while. He also appeared on CSI Crime Scene Investigation. What's interesting is before he was famous, he performed at Second City Training Center Improv before moving to LA. So, Eric Stone Street, I'm wishing you a happy 54. It looks good on you, kid. And you've got the next one who is phenomenal. Go ahead, Christina.
Yes, and I love this guy. Guess why? He's married to an Argentinian lady. His
Okay.
wife is gorgeous, Luciana Lopilato. She, in fact, I saw her many times in Argentina in her series. So yes, Michael Bublé, he's turning 50. Happy birthday, Michael Bublé, and good choice for going with an Argentinian there. So he's a Grammy-winning jazz singer who sold 50 million plus records and gained international fame for his 2005 album, It's Time. His number one albums on the Canadian and US charts include Call Me Irresponsible, Crazy Love, and Christmas. He featured Nelly Furtado on his 2005 cover of Cuando, Cuando, Cuando. Before he was famous, he developed a taste for jazz music at age 5 and prayed to become a famous singer. His prayer was answered.
And I have to tell you, he grew up in a very religious family, and he went to bed with the Bible next to his bed every night. But
Wow.
I have a story. Quando, quando, quando. That song was written by a man who was a friend of mine, who used to be a neighbor of mine. He's gone several years now, named Irvin Drake. and he wrote the lyrics to Quando, Quando, Quando. And I featured him. I was a reporter for a local paper, and I did a couple of stories on him, and we became friends. And I was a guest in his home, and he was a member of, not a member of, but he knew the Rat Pack, all the Peter Lawford and Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin from New York City, and he was the president, I think, of ASCAP. But I just want to say that I remember him telling me the stories about Quando, 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 and he wrote those lyrics. Irvin Drake was not a household name, but his music was part of the Great American Songbook and will live on. And we have one more birthday. Michelle Williams, beautiful actress who played bad girl Jennifer Lindley on the TV series Dawson's Creek. I have never seen that. Then she went on to star in Blue Valentine, the movie with Ryan Gosling. Woohoo! Manchester by the Sea. She portrayed, I saw this, Marilyn Monroe in the film My Week with Marilyn in 2011 and received a Golden Globe for Best Actress. She also won an Independent Spirit Award. I like that, Christina. We should get Independent Spirit Awards for people
Yes,
like us who are not
yes.
movie stars. For Best Supporting Actress for playing Alma Beers Del Mar in the 2005 film Brokeback Mountain. Michelle Williams, 45. Happy birthday to you. Happy 50th to Michael Bublé. Happy 54th to Eric Stonestreet. 59 to Adam Sandler, and an unbelievable 65 to you, Grant. And we have one in memoriam birthday. That's yours. Christina, who is it?
Yes. Colonel Sanders. What a beautiful memorial celebrity to talk today. 1890 to 1980, he was 90, and born Harlan David Sanders. He was an American businessman and entrepreneur who built his Kentucky Fried Chicken Cafe into the fast food empire KFC. He sold KFC to John Brown Jr., Jack Massey or Messi, or however you pronounce
Yeah,
it,
Massey.
and a group of investors for $2 million in 1964. His Colonel Sanders persona has been portrayed in TV ads by comedians Darrell Hammond and Norm Macdonald. Before he was famous, he worked as a farmer, salesman, steamboat pilot, and railroad fireman. And I love his story. It's speaking of hope, speaking of reinvention, speaking of starting as many chances as you have to,
Yes.
accepting all types of rejections, but still following your dream. Colonel Sanders, in
There you
memoriam.
go. He was born today in 1890. Hard to believe. And I will tell you, one of my favorite things on the menu there, this is going to sound strange, is their coleslaw, which they make with very, very finely chopped cabbage, but it has a lot of sugar in it. It's the sweetest coleslaw, and I've learned to make it at home. I love their fried chicken, which I haven't had in years, I will admit, but I love the coleslaw. I must be one of those strange people. I want to do an applause to all of these people we've just celebrated. Happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy. Oh, we've got quite a crowd right now. All right, everybody quiet down in your seats now. Now we're going to go to the social media star birthdays, and these are interesting. I'm starting out with a young lady named Cedra, Cedra, Cedra's Beauty, and she probably is. She's 23. Oh, Christina, I can't even remember 23. She has 3.5 million plus YouTube subscribers and 5 million on Instagram. Now, Christina, as I do these every couple days, I do this show, I find out that the social media stars are popular on multiple platforms. They're not just on YouTube. They could be YouTube and Insta, or Insta and TikTok, or TikTok and Insta and YouTube, or Vine, or Twitch, or something like that. So, Cedra's Beauty she posts comedy skits, which surprises me, challenges, lookbooks. That must be something like a Facebook, and other videos. So happy birthday to Cedra's Beauty. Okay, who have you got next?
So I have Grazing Hosel. He is also a very young man, 86 years old today, and he is well known in TikTok. 1.2 million followers. He posts comedy content delivered while in his vehicle. Oh, careful. Well, hopefully he's parked, right? One of his most popular TikToks was filmed before a first date from a hinge match, and he had about 5 million views.
Wow, he's just 26. Interesting. 1.2 million. It sounds like he's just starting out compared to a lot of other people. But do you think that he modeled it after comedians in cars drinking coffee, which James Corden did a series, and I think Seinfeld did some comedians in cars. So maybe the idea of comedy content in his vehicle. Maybe he's just got a phone recording him on the dashboard, and I, yeah, we,
In the end, Bonnie, I think that we all end up recycling stuff, right? So we take
yeah,
things from from history, from this and that, and so probably he took some here and there, but definitely he has
yeah.
own thing
Interest,
going.
interesting name. Grayson, Greysin. I've never heard that before. Holzel, Hoelzel. Very interesting name. Anyway, happy birthday to you. So let's go to the next one. This is hard to pronounce. Katarina Rozmajzel. And I'm just going to spell that if anybody wants to know. Rozmajzl. I'm guessing Romanian or something like that. She is on Instagram and TikTok. She's 28. Now, the reason she's here, Christina, usually to get on my list, I have to have 1.5 million followers. And on Instagram, she excuse me for saying only,
Yeah.
800,000. We should be so lucky. But she has 127 million likes on TikTok. 127 million likes. I saw had somebody last week who had a billion. I'll go with 127 million. She models clothing brands and swimwear, and she has her own cosmetics line. And she has a TikTok with her dad and her five sisters, and that got 83 million views. Can
Wow.
you even imagine? Happy
So,
28th to Katarina R. We'll just leave it at that. And you've got one more for us. Who
oh
have you got?
yes, we have a very young one here too, William Papa. So William Papa, he's only 23 and he's the star in TikTok, 76 million likes. He posts what?
Point of view,
Oh,
POV,
thank
point
you.
of view.
Thank you. Point of view and dramatic skits. His first video on YouTube had him trying different kinds of Japanese candy. Japanese candy? We need to try that.
We
Japanese
do.
candy. Okay.
Happy birthday.
I love that.
I
Japanese
think I
candy. I
need
love
to
that.
give, I think I'm going to give them because some of this is comedy. I'm give them a laugh track here. But there's applause in there too. There we go. Okay, they got both. Thank you to our social media stars. We're going to start our wacky holidays. We've got two, and I gave myself the first one because this is near and dear to me. National Teddy Bear Day. And the reason it's near and dear to me is that I am shall we just say, an art creator on a program on an app called Night Cafe Studio. And I'm on a 57-day streak of creating one image every day. And I'm doing a series of teddy bears, Christina.
Wow.
And I do them in different settings in the style of Beatrix Potter. So they're very cute. I did one where they're in a hot air balloon, a bunch of teddies, and they're dressed up. I did one where one is a baker serving cupcakes to other little teddies around a table. I did one where they're reading poetry in a park, and one where they're on a carousel. And I give it the prompts, and it creates another scene for teddy bears. And I have a whole collection of them, and I send them to friends on a message sometimes. So, National Teddy Bear Day. Where did it all start? Well, let's dial it back to 1902. President Teddy Roosevelt, there's a clue, kids, was on a bear hunting trip in Onward, Mississippi. I didn't know there was such a place. He was invited by the governor, Governor Andrew H. Longino of Mississippi. Okay. Roosevelt, he didn't hit a single bear, not even a married bear. He didn't hit any bears. And his aide said, "Oh, we can't have the president not being successful in shooting." So they went and found a black bear and they tied it up to a willow tree. And they said, "Okay, President Roosevelt, you can shoot the bear now." And he said, "That is not sportsmanlike. I cannot shoot a trapped bear." Well, news got out from this place, Onward, Mississippi, Christina, and the newspapers started spreading the story. And you've got the next item. What happened on November? 2 days later, you've got the next one.
November 16, 1902, Clifford Berryman, political cartoonist,
Parodied?
thank you, parodied the president's unwillingness to shoot in his cartoon, Drawing the Line in Mississippi, in the Washington Post.
Oh my goodness. And the following year, listen to this, Morris Michtom, Michtom, he owned a candy shop and he was also a stuffed animal producer. I don't know what one thing has to do with maybe he sold little cute stuffed animals when kids were buying candy. He saw the cartoon from 1902 that Clifford Berryman had put into the Washington Post about President Roosevelt not shooting the bear. And he said, I have an idea. So he looked at his wife, Rose. He said, Hey, Rose, Mike Tum, we can't pronounce our last name, but I love you very much. Let's make a plush teddy bear and call it Teddy Bear. Teddy's Bear, apostrophe S, in honor of the president being a stand up but a not shoot 'em kind of guy. And he actually, Morris got the president's permission to use his name. This is a genius marketing idea, by the way, Christina.
Amazing.
He got to the president somehow. Of course, they didn't have email, they didn't have cell phones, they didn't have messaging, they didn't have TikTok, but he found the president. He said, Hey, can I use your name? And the president said, Yes, of course you can. So they mass manufactured the toy bears. They were so successful that Morris became the creator of the Ideal Toy Company, which is huge for years. I think it's located in New York. I remember seeing the factory. Within a few years, teddy bear sales grew so rapidly, so popular, that Morris established a special toy firm for soft toys just to manufacture teddy bears. Oh,
And this went global. 1903, German firm Steve began manufacturing teddy bears with movable joints and debuted their teddy bear version at the Leipzig Toy Fair.
and in 1984, we're moving ahead 81 years later. A lady named Judy Sparrow, not Judy Teddy Bear, Judy Sparrow, opened the first teddy bear. I had to say that. The first teddy bear museum in Petersfield, Hampshire, England. How about that? And
And today, millions of teddies are given as presents or to commemorate events or occasions. And I do have teddy bears. So, do you have teddy bears?
of course I do. Of course I do. I keep a couple on my bed. I have a big bed. I live alone and alone right now. So I keep the teddy bears. They have names. I name them after my grandpuppies. There's Amos and there's Jake, and I have one called the little one, and I have all kinds of yes, and they sit on my dressers. Not too many of them, but I find them very comforting. They're very comfortable. And there's a Build-A-Bear. You ever heard of Build-A-Bear, the company?
No.
Build-A-Bear is where you can go to this workshop type of a company and you could say, okay, I want to build a bear in honor of this person. I want the bear to wear these clothes. I want it to have this kind of fur. And you create the bear in a workshop type of setting and you could give it as a gift. And I had somebody I dated many years ago actually went to Build-A-Bear and made a bear for me, I think. And he gave me the bear. It was pretty ugly. I didn't like it. And he said, I said, okay, I'm going to hug the bear when I go to bed at night. And he said, that's one lucky bear.
I love it.
We'll just leave that one alone. Okay, you've got the next holiday. We're going to close out with this one. What have you got?
World Box Wine Day.
Really?
1965, box wine packaging was inspired by containers used for battery acid in the 1950s and 1960s. Australian winemaker Thomas Angove adapted the bag-in-box technology using polyethylene bags for wine in 1965. After a version of it had been patented by the American company Skoll for shipping battery acid. This allows the wine to be poured and the container can then be sealed back with a built-in fastener. He patents the first box wine design built by his company.
Woo! And 2 years later, a gentleman named Charles Malpass, Malpas, improved on the design and added a plastic seal tap. That's the tap that allows you to open it up and pour the wine from the tap. Okay.
And then in 1970, well, in then 70s, the convenient design of wine casks is adapted for orange juice, water, and other liquids. So boring. It's much
And little juice boxes, I think, too. We did, yeah, juice boxes. In 2003, we're moving ahead now 33 years. Central Coast AVA, one of the biggest winemakers, produced the earliest premium fine wine packaged in a box. I bet we know people who tried that. Okay, they're
Yep.
still around. Yeah.
And today, some famous brands of box wine include Boda Box, Black Box, Francia, Big House Wine Company, The Naked Grape, and Really Good Boxed Wine. These brands provide quality wines, some in larger formats.
If you're having a party, you need a big box of wine. There you go. And the last comment here is box wine has sparked interest by several premium winemakers in sustainable packaging. I'm going to say woohoo. Christina, we're going to smile and laugh our way out of here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. No wine, just water.
We're celebrating you in this special way. Party shine,
Shine.
laugh and smile.
Smile.
We're celebrating you in style.
Thank you, Cristina, Leira. Thank you to Social. Let's wave goodbye. We're going to